Hello Internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow. Yeah, let's talk about Mob Psycho in the Ultimate Esper Battle. This week in Mob Psycho, we do kind of meet the main man, in this case, the super psychic, in this case, and his name is Teru. And he is a very impressive and a very powerful Esper, possibly one of the strongest, like, possibly even rivaling Mob, or so you would think, because this guy, he does have extensive control over his telekinesis, can easily like throw mob around, can exercise spirits the same way mob can, and even like push it can even push people through like burning walls and stuff like that. He's a very impressive psychic. However, because of that though, it's like on the surface, this episode kind of teaches you again that even though you have a masterful skill, in this case, you know, a philosophy that Mob kind of holds on to, which was passed on to him by Reagan, of course, which is that people who sing, people who are good talkers, good at taking tests, all this stuff is perfect and it's fine, but just because you have that doesn't make you better or worse than anybody else. Pretty much, your psychic abilities, they kind of are what they are a natural talent to you, but pretty much you still need something else out there or something to strive for in order to become a better person. And this one does actually kind of keep that there, or at least like with the two ideologies, in terms of Teru, who has made his psychic powers just about everything about himself, which is why he's at where he's at in school, is because the friends he has, the tests, say like the test scores, the recognition, all that comes from him using his powers to subjugate and take over people. Whereas Mob, on the other hand, even though he does have his powers and he may be one of the strongest psychics of all, as shown like in his past, is that whenever he uses his powers, it's always something bad happens. Like something bad always happens. In terms of when he was trying to save his younger brother from some high school kids, when he was not, so like his powers kind of led to something bad happening. All three of them got hurt and so did his brother. And one could say that he needs way more control, but it's more or less like he's just trying to find himself, which is why his powers, since that they are locked away, and once he ever reaches 100% upon like his emotional spectrum, his powers kind of just go crazy. And it seems though that depending on whichever emotion it is, it's like his powers kind of take upon like a different attribute. Such as when he was raging, it was destructive. But this episode is more or less sad, but I'll get to that in a second, because in the midst of their argument, you actually get to see the difference between like what kind of psychics they are. In which case with Mob, when he goes unconscious and he does actually uses his powers again, it's more or less like he reaches like, I guess, a maximum amount of whatever he uses a maximum of whatever his powers is, and he can draw energy from the landscape and other psychics. And this week he decimated an entire building and threw it up in the air. However, even in the crux of that, of him sort of doing all that, with his sadness, however, is more or less like he kind of just reconstructed everything and formed it back into whatever it is, because again, he wants to change himself. And you learn something about Mob every week, or you learn something about different people and the ways how that they change. In this case, Teru, before this, was kind of a egotistical kind of person, whereas that now, after this loss with Mob, he seems to be way more understanding and empathetic, even going so far as to pretty much try and talk to Mob like after their battle and stuff like that, of trying to understand that that the reason why he didn't like Mob is because, again, Mob reminded him that he was just an average, ordinary person, and that Mob didn't really need his powers to beat him. You know, so it's pretty interesting in that kind of light. But until then, please tell me what you think about this down there in the comment section. Because also finally, Mob does actually kind of go back and talk to his brother about like the reason why he got hurt all those years ago. And the interesting thing about this is that you can slowly sort of see Retsu kind of hesitating now, because or at least you understand like why he was angry at the other girl, like the news reporter girl, because of course she did kind of talk about his brother's powers. And it's more or less like it wasn't. Every single time I see Retsu now, it's more or less like he's not talking about his brother's powers because he wants to protect his brother, but it's more or less out of jealousy now, because that's something that he wants, even though he has things that Mob doesn't. But I'll get on that some other time. Tell me what do you think about this down there in the comment section. I will catch you on the next John Grave Show. Keep watching anime, keep playing video games. See you next time. I'm out. Hello, wonderful internet people. I know that you love this video, and I know that you loved what I had to say. Even though it was a bit long-winded, I still appreciate it. But until then, please, if you like my video, please leave me a like, please comment, and tell me your thoughts upon what happened, or at least what I talked about. And also, until further notice, you can check this book out. Until August 6th, it is free, just a small reminder from the beginning. And yeah, I'll see you next time on the next John Grave Show. You know what to do. Stay happy. I'm out.